Hi, my laptop wasn't working, so I wasn't able to do any work on any new videos for a while. But I have a new laptop now. It's my baby, the Silver Surfer. Get it? Because it surfs the web. Yeah. So here's a fast video about the slap heard around the social media discourse and my thoughts on it in an internet friendly list. Number one, good on Will Smith. There's a lot of people attacking Will Smith for reasons I will get into later, but I really appreciate a man who will stand up for his wife. When Chris Rock made the joke, you can see how uncomfortable Jada Pinkett Smith was, and it takes a real man to stand up for his wife. But, number two, why does standing up for his wife model toxic patriarchal values? It's a common trap we all fall into. I don't know if you notice, but we live in a society. And in this society, even as we try to move away from its toxicity, sometimes we end up reinforcing that toxicity. For example, when women in comics are shown to be sexually liberated, the visual shorthand for this sexual liberation looks a lot like the male gaze. A Crazy Ex-Girlfriend has a song called Put Yourself First that makes fun of this phenomenon. And in a similar manner, the conversation around protecting black women is protecting black women using male patriarchal violence. It's difficult to conceive of protection outside of the cultural framework of patriarchy. Hell, I fell into the same trap while I was congratulating Will Smith. I said, it takes a real man to stand up for his wife. Oops. However, number three. Am I only saying this because Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are in a straight seeming relationship? They're a cis woman and a cis man, respectively. If Will and Jada were in a man loving man or a woman loving woman relationship, I wouldn't be bringing up any point about reinforcing toxic patriarchal values. If I try to look at this from a viewpoint irrespective of gender, I would say good on Will Smith without any hesitancy. It would just be an unironic hell yeah. And I feel like Will and Jada in a man loving woman relationship complicates my thoughts on the matter. I have to ask myself, if a comedian had made a joke about me, would I want my partner to slap that comedian? And I would have to say yes. And yet, number four, Will Smith is a black man. And there is a long history of black men being painted as violent, unable to control themselves, and a danger to the larger society, but especially white people. Hell, one of the first movies ever made in America was Birth of a Nation, where a white actor in blackface attempts to rape a white woman. The entire carceral state was and is justified because black men are so violent and dangerous. The entire war on drugs and tough on crime rhetoric is just a bunch of bullshit racist dog whistles to say black men are a threat and uncontrollable and violent. So, of course, there have been so many stupid hot takes falling into that rhetoric. And Will Smith is a really popular black celebrity. He has just the right amount of blackness in his roles to add more flavor to the film, but not so much that he's seen as too black. And this is a careful balancing act the Smiths have perfected through their many years in public life. And this could ruin all that. In fact, it kinda has. Bad Boys 4 and Fast and Loose, a Netflix movie which would have starred Will Smith, are both on hold. And he's banned from the Oscars for 10 years, which is absolute bullshit. Because number five, all Will Smith did was hit a guy. Oh, what? Gary Oldman attacked and choked his ex-wife. Roman Polanski is a rapist. Ryan Seacrest sexually harassed and assaulted his hairstylist, and he ran the Oscar red carpet interviews. Woody Allen groomed his stepdaughter. Shia LaBeouf slammed his girlfriend against a car and choked her. Timothy Hutton raped a child. The double standard here is mind-boggling. None of these people have been banned from the Oscars, and they're arguably more of a danger than Will Smith. So is the issue professionalism? Is it professional to sexually assault someone? Or is the issue really that it just didn't happen at the Oscars on television? Terrible behavior is fine as long as it doesn't happen at the award show. It just seems to me like the real problem here is that Will Smith dared to act up at their white, prestigious award show. Since number 6, the Smiths were a part of the Oscars So White protest, and it really tanked the Academy's image for a few months, because nothing lasts long in this new social media sphere. The rhetoric around the Oscars So White was garbage too. So many racist dog whistles about black people not having enough talent to make their own movies, or not being good enough to win any awards. And Jada and Will Smith spoke out against that garbage. And I don't know, maybe some feelings were hurt, and this is a good way to get some revenge. But let's be clear, number 7. This isn't just a random act of violence. That's the main problem of how the media is portraying it. They're trying to paint this as Will Smith overreacting, just casually ignoring the years Chris Rock and other comedians have made the Smiths the butt of the joke, especially Jada because of her appearance and the polyamory. This wasn't random. This was after years of harassment. Honestly, the framing bugs the hell out of me. It reminds me of how society generally treats victims of bullying and abuse. We ignore the years leading up to when a victim finally lashes out, and then we punish the victim for protecting themselves. My dad is an abusive asshole. There was an incident where I ran into him at a restaurant, and he was there with all his church friends, and he came over to say hi, and I cursed him out. This man abused me my whole life, and he wanted me to be nice? Laughable. Now, to me, I was finally standing up for myself. But to everyone who didn't know the situation, it looked like I randomly cursed my dad out. I was the one who looked crazy and violent, not the man who slammed my head into the kitchen counter because I didn't clean the dishes the right way. I say all this to illustrate that when we are judging a situation, we are often only judging that snapshot in time. The slap gets memed and passed around. But does the years of harassment? No, and if you claim violence is never the answer, may I remind you of number 8. Sometimes violence is the answer. The Smith family took all this harassment for years without responding, and did it stop? No, just ignoring bullies doesn't work. It doesn't work with children on the playground, and it doesn't work with adults. If Will Smith did nothing, that behavior would have continued. If someone doesn't stop after you ask them the billionth time, then all they are willing to listen to is violence. But there's more history to go over. So number 9. Black women's hair is complicated. There were literal laws dictating how black women were supposed to wear their hair, because colorful hairstyles could lead white men astray. Because obviously when a white man rapes a black woman, it's because their hair was too pretty. No white man in his right mind would ever be attracted to a black woman. This is all part of the Jezebel trope, which was really just an elaborate way to absolve white men of any guilt. Over time, black women gained more rights, but it's not all sunshine and roses. Racism is like a terrible whack-a-mole game. When one mode of oppression gets the bonk, another pops up. And this popped up in the form of Eurocentric beauty ideals. Black women's hair is constantly being policed. Natural hairstyles are seen as unprofessional. There's that word again. I wonder if society's standards of professionalism are tied to white supremacy. It's a mystery. And the media keeps telling them that their hair is ugly and they're ugly. It's that constant messaging that they are hideous. And it gets to people because it's fucked. So when it comes to hair, there are a lot of feelings. That's why there is one simple rule that everyone should follow. Don't make jokes about black hair. Just don't. Your humor should not be based on humiliating a black woman with a chronic illness. Because number 10, Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia. Alopecia is an autoimmune disorder where the immune system attacks healthy hair follicles, leading to baldness and itching and pain in the area of the hair loss. Now, some people might say that I'm being hyperbolic here, but making fun of someone because of a chronic illness is ableist as hell. Again, just don't do it. Now, this might not be recognized as ableism because people seem to think that they can only be ableist if they make fun of someone in a wheelchair, but that's just a narrow view of ableism and the ways that it really affects people. But there is one caveat I need to add. So, number 11. Don't think that I am totally behind Jada Pinkett Smith here. I feel like any defense of Will Smith needs to touch on the August and Jada entanglement. Because I want this to be very clear. What Jada did was inappropriate. August was dealing with a sex, drug, and alcohol addiction. He went to Jada at a very low point in his life. Jada and Will's relationship had hit a rough patch. Jada had all the power in that relationship between her and August, and she took advantage of August as a way to help herself heal. It's gross. Mrs. Smith, you have money. You can afford therapy. Don't take advantage of someone you're supposed to be helping. So, yeah, in summation, I'm on Will Smith's side, and the Academy is a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Good night.
Well, I was stuck in bed, and you were stuck here with me. But now you may go and live your lives. Go, be cute, keep gay, be crime. Bye!
Julie, do the thing.
Don't freak out. It's not real.